Hello everybody, my name is Megan, you're watching Miss Megan Knits, and links to everything I talk to you about today will be in the description box below. Before we start, I have some explaining to do. I know this video is a little late. I mean, I guess I've never been super regular with the videos, but it's a little bit late, about a week late. Life happened, and is really getting in the way of my knitting progress, my knitting everything, so I actually don't have that much to show despite being a longer period of time between podcasts. So just letting you know, like up front, there's not that much cool knitting going on. I didn't start anything new, I didn't finish anything. There's only really 2 projects here. I bought yarn for another project, but that's kind of boring yarn. It's not one of those fancy hand-dyed yarns. So I'm just kind of letting you know, it's not that chock full of knitting content. If you're someone who is only here for the knitting content, this one's probably going to be more me chatting about miscellaneous stuff than it is knitting. And you're free to not participate if that's something that you don't want to participate in. Like, cool, I'll be here. I don't know when, life is hard. But I'll be here at some other point. You can check me out again, no problem. I won't be offended. And I'm not doing that whole, like, well then click away if you don't like me. Like, no, just, it's free. Like, you didn't pay anything to be here. You can leave whenever you want. Anyway, my explanation, first of all, why do I look like this? I just got out of the shower, so my hair is disgusting. I can't brush it wet, so it's messy. Does anybody else have that problem, by the way? I think it's a fine hair thing. Like, my hair is so thin that I can brush it just fine dry, but as soon as it gets the slightest bit wet, like, I cannot get a brush through it, and I just feel it, like, stretching and breaking, and it just feels like it's bad for my hair, so I generally wait till it dries. And I'm not really a big blow dryer person. I think it's, like, a lot of effort, and I've always let my hair dry, air dry. It comes out just fine. You know, it'll dry like this, right? Crunched up, disgusting, and then I run a brush through it and straight again, so I'm cool. And there's also very little makeup on. I've had a hard time motivating myself to come sit here. These past 3 weeks have been incredibly difficult for me, and it's hard to get in the right headspace to be cheery and perky and show the knitting stuff and do that kind of thing. So when I had, like, that moment I was okay enough to where I wanted to do it, I really wanted to take advantage and just kind of go. So I threw a little concealer on my chins and on my dark circles, and here we are. And it's not even a great concealer because it doesn't match my skin. It covers really well. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Funny story about that one. I bought it too light, right? I'm so pale, so you buy the lighter shade and everything, but apparently that's too light for me. So then I went to the store and I bought what I... Did my light bulb just go out? I feel like it just got dimmer. Okay. And then I bought what I thought was the correct shade, right? Like, oh, I'll buy this one instead. Turns out I bought the same one I originally bought, so now I have 2 tubes of the same great concealer in a bad shade for me. Anyway, it works great. And it works even better when you put foundation on and kind of, like, blend the colors together a little bit, but this is what I got. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about today, I do have knitting progress that, of course, I'm going to show. Like, why would I not? It's a pretty sad amount of knitting progress. No FOs, no new cast-ons. I have 1 piece I bought yarn for that I'm planning on for Christmas, but, like, honestly, I had such big Christmas plans last episode, and now that I'm falling so behind, they seem just like they're not gonna happen. But I can make things for people anyway, right, without a deadline, like I convinced everyone of in one of my videos. Doesn't have to be a Christmas gift, it can just be like a gift that you give to someone. And I want to talk about what I got for my birthday. Most of it, well, some of it was knitting related, most of it was not, but, you know, I didn't have enough stuff for a separate video on what I wanted for my birthday, so we're going to lump that in here. And then we are also going to talk about some of my favorite things. I guess kind of as the video goes on, some of my situation will be revealed. And I've basically, like, no surprise, been in my bedroom for about a week. I'm just now starting to venture out. And it's not actually my mental health this time. Yay, you know, I'm sane. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. So I've had a lot of time to sit and think and process, and I've been exhausted. Anyway, I've had favorite things. That's my point. My point is I've had favorite things that have made me happy. And I want to share this with you because maybe they'll make you happy. Okay, first things first, let's get to anything knitting really did, so that if you're still here and you're not interested in my life, you can watch that and then decide whether to continue watching. So I have two projects that I've been working on back and forth, sort of. The simpler one is one that I designed really quick. That I designed it, but it's not going anywhere. The gauge is too freaking weird. I have to measure it over 3 inches for it to make any sense, and who measures gauge over 3 inches? Like, nobody. But when you try to measure it over like 4 inches, you end up with like something in like 1/3 of a stitch, and like it just doesn't work out nicely. So it's just gonna be a thing I designed. It's a hat for my dad for Christmas. I've had a really hard time with this one emotionally. It's really simple in its texture. I'll show it. Might as well hold it up while I'm talking about it. It's really simple in its texture, and I do a lot of knitting and crying because I don't know how to word it in a way that's not a downer. It's been a emotional and psychological roller coaster inside this house, and it's not my fault, actually, because I've talked to professionals about it, and they're like, no, Megan, it's not your fault, so. But there's a lot of emotional and psychological stuff going on, is how I describe it. And it's really hard. I actually did voluntarily hide in my room for a week to not have to deal with it. And Dad's kind of the instigator. So trying to come to terms with making this hat for him, I don't know. I'm not super superstitious, but I don't want to like be feeling really angry, negative things about a person while I'm knitting something for them. Like, that's not right? I mean, I don't know anything about voodoo or stitches or magic or whatever, but like, it doesn't seem right. But also, it's hard to not. And there have been a lot of times I've debated just putting it down and not picking it up. I've made a lot of progress since last time though, look at that. So I must have been knitting it a lot, because I think I was down here in the ribbing. Now I'm in this Roman rib, which is the knit purl pattern. It's super easy. You can look up a Roman rib. It's available. It's basically like 2x2 rib, or 1x1 rib that's like offset, with rows of stockinette between them. So it's like, you do a 1x1 rib, and you do, for 2 rows of stockinette, and then a row of 1x1 rib where the ribs aren't matching with the first row, and then you just keep, yeah, okay, look at it, there you go. That makes sense. And this is just a 1x1 with bottom fold over brim. I'm almost done. I'm at like 11 inches, I need 12, so I'm just gonna do it, but I've had a really hard time motivating myself to pick it up lately. So that's that. I'm using Lion brand wool leaves, not the Hit the Gun Quick, just the regular kind in natural heather. It's doubled up, and not only am I using worsted weight yarn doubled up, I'm working on a size 4 needle because he likes really dense fabric. I don't know why he judges the quality of knitting by how dense it is, but he does, and he like will not put up with anything crocheted because it has too many holes. Like, okay, so you know, I've tried that, but it's hard. Okay, my other project, and I actually have other projects going. I have a plarn going, but I haven't really been able to get downstairs to have the space to do that. And then I have a blanket for myself, a crochet blanket. You can see that on my, you can probably find pictures on my Instagram, but also on my Ravelry account. But I haven't touched that either because I feel too guilty to do a relaxing project for myself when I have all these big projects looming over me for Christmas. Which is ridiculous because I should do what makes me happy, but I feel like an obligation to craft for others. Oh, that reminds me, my big knitting dream, like if once I finish all my gifts that I want to knit, I'm gonna make myself, for me, like a selfish thing, a simple cardigan in Knit Picks Capretta, because I've worked with Knit Picks Capretta before on a shawl, and it was really nice, really luxurious, really soft, nice fine yarn. It had beautiful colors. I did mine in a bunch of shades of purple. I did a Scania shawl. It was beautiful. And, you know, I liked it so much. I want a cardigan in it. So that's what I'm going to do once I finish all my stuff that I have for other people. I'm going to knit myself a cardigan. And like a simple one, right? Because like most of the sweaters I knit are these, I mean, I've only knit 4 sweaters, but the sweaters I have knit are nice, but they're like wearing out sweaters. And, you know, between COVID and this situation and everything, like I want a sweater I can just wrap myself up in and be cozy at home, or it'd be nice enough to like go out in if I wanted to, you know. I've been looking at cardigans on Ravelry because I have no self-control. And Like a Cloud came up from Joji Locatelli. Of course, my capretta isn't going to be nearly as nice as the Shibui silk and mohair, but it's got a lovely texture and it fits nice, or it fits her nice, you know. And I keep picking my ears, sorry, they're wet. It fits her nice, and you know, it looks cool. So I'm thinking maybe that one. That's the only one that sticks out in my head that I remember, so that's probably a good sign for that one. But it is a paid-for pattern. Totally worth it. Like, I understand how much work goes into making a pattern, and that patterns need to be paid for, but I'm not sure I have the resources to do so at the moment. We'll see. Anyway, my next project is the curvy socks for my brother. I finished the first one, except for weaving in all the ends, because, you know, haven't done that yet. And then I'm working on the second one, so let me pull them out for you. I'm actually almost done with the second one, too. Not almost done, but I'm on the last kind of stretch. This is the first one, so we'll walk you through the anatomy of this sock. Also, there would be no pattern for this one, even though I designed it myself, because his feet are really odd proportions. So if I did it, I'd have to do the grading completely differently and change all the numbers, and that's just rewriting the whole pattern. I don't want to do that. So we have Judy's Magic Cast at the toe, 20% of our total stitches, which were 56. He has a 56 stitch foot, but a normal length foot. So anyway, you increase the right number of stitches with knit front backs at the right places. Stockinette all the way up to the point where you turn the heel. This is the, I don't know what it's called. It's the toe up, heel flap and gusset heel tutorial from Modern Daily Knitting, so go there. The only modification I made is on the heel flap. Instead of doing stockinette, I did a heel stitch for extra reinforcement in that kind of wear down area. Heel stitch is also Googleable. It's pretty easy to like knit one, slip one, and then purl across, so you get the kind of thicker fabric. After that, I did 2x2 ribbing. This is where I got too close to a ballpoint pen. I'm hoping that'll wash out. But yes, so it's 2x2 ribbing around his ankle because he has a really high instep like I do, but he has really skinny ankles. So I need this part of the sock to be stretchy enough to go over his foot, but also snap back enough to secure his ankle and not sag. Here in the beginning of the calf, where I do the calf increases, that part's not color work because I flubbed it up the first time. If you want to hear a story if I had to rip out basically a whole sock, watch my last video. And then curvy color work on this part. And then I did a hexagon stitch with 3 different colors of background stripes and 2 inches of ribbing. The flare here is from the simple stitch you bind off of Very Pink Knits. It doesn't look like it's flaring when it's on. It's just flares a little bit at the top because it's so stretchy. And I have like a bajillion ends to weave in. Do I dare turn it inside out? I haven't even turned it inside out myself to see how many ends I have to weave in. Oh, this. Duplicate stitch. I did that before I did the ankle ribbing, like heel, and then I did the duplicate stitch on the face. I did the chart for the duplicate stitch myself. Wasn't that hard. I just got, if you're gonna do that, knitter's graph paper, not regular graph paper. You can just print it off the internet for free, but the boxes aren't square because knit stitches are not square. So if you want it to look the way you want it to look, just draw it on graph paper that's the appropriate size boxes and you can get everything figured out. Same thing with the curvy design. I did that one myself too. Oh me, oh my. Look at all that. So let's just kind of hold it this way and comb out all the ends. Okay, and then there's some over here from the duplicate stitch, and of course your beginning end. Oh my goodness. I got a lot of work to do. I actually don't mind weaving in ends. Generally, like they're kind of just I feel very zen when I do it, but I've never had to weave in that many at once, so maybe I won't feel very zen after like the 5th one. Maybe I should do them like start now. Okay, I need a drink. I've been talking too much. Remember last time I didn't have a drink and like my throat was sore? I remember that because my throat was sore. we've been, as a family, really into the 4C drink mixes. Like those, like they have iced tea lemonade, that's how we got started. They're big cans of iced tea lemonade. And then we couldn't find those very much, so we had the little packets of like peach lemonade and raspberry lemonade, and a lot of more 4C, but some were other brands. They're really good. This one was a 4C energy boost. It has caffeine and a little bit of carbonation, and it's like a berry flavor. I like it. Tasty. Okay. But yeah, so that's the sock, and then this is the other one. This is my little Knit Picks sock needle holder, DPN protector, something. It's got a little hole in it for the project. You can just like slide it over the needles. And the needles I'm using are the Knitter's Pride Ginger double pointed needles sock set. Bear got them for me for Christmas, and he spent way too much money on them, and I feel so guilty, but I do use them a lot, and I do love them, so that was funny. Okay. I mean, I've probably told the story a million times how I open it, and he's like, I got you a screwdriver set, but for knitting needles. I'm like, thank you. That was really cool. Okay, really cool of him. And I'll show you, I did my chart with stitch fiddle, so I started on Knitter's graph paper to draw it out by hand, and then I printed everything up with stitch fiddle. Not the duplicate one, because that's lazy, but the Kirby one is quite nice. I actually, okay, maybe I'm crazy. I do trap my floats. I trap my floats no more than 4 stitches, so no more than 4 stitches will a float be. I don't know if that makes sense. 4 stitches is okay, 5 is not. And so you try really hard to not trap in the same spot all the way up. And I wanted to make sure of doing that. I want to make sure my floats were staggered all over so that I didn't get any puckers or anything. But I got so tired of trying to look at my knitting to figure out, like, oh, where did I trap last row? And, like, think about it in the middle of doing it. Like, having to look at something and be like, oh, that's, 8 stitches. Where should I trap? I feel like that took a lot of my time and energy. So I actually drew little pencil slashes in where I do my trap. So I trap on that stitch. And I've did all the thinking all at once and made sure none of them were overlapping, made sure I had the right traps in the right spots, made sure I wasn't trapping like at the end of a row, because you have to trap and then do another stitch in the same color for it to really work. I did all that at the beginning and then didn't have to think about it anymore, so I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, that's where I am, at the top of my chart. And I'm showing this because it's my chart. I wouldn't show somebody else's chart this closely, because that's not fair. But since I made this chart, I do what I want. So that's kind of where I am. And then I'm on the last one. Yeah, the blue one, which is the last one. And then I will jump into the hexagon pattern, which should be a lot simpler because it's mosaic rather than color work. So there's only one color working at a time, the mosaic pattern, and then ribbing, and then weaving ends, and I'm done. So I am pretty excited about that. The mosaic pattern is from the Up Down All Around Stitch Dictionary by Wendy Bernard. I'm going to show you the picture of the hexagons. I will not show you the chart or anything, but this is what it looks like. She didn't do different colors, but I did. And that's kind of it. I was expecting, because I brought this dictionary to Wes and I highlighted some different ones, like a star stitch and some interesting stuff, and I asked him, like, can you pick one, and he picked the hexagons, and I wasn't expecting that one, but it's fun to do and it looks great, so he has a good eye. He's been getting an artistic side lately. He's been painting and assembling miniatures for Warhammer 40k, and I mean, that's dorky, but like, it's not any dorkier than knitting, and it's really artistic. Like, he's painting these tiny little figures in really close detail and adding shadows and things that like wear and tear and rust and dust and like making all the effects, and it looks really cool. Like, it's interesting to look at as an art piece. Forget about the lore. And then the cool thing is you can use them to play a game. So that's pretty exciting. He's got his 3D printer all up and running, and he's printing out, like, he calls it terrain, so like things to climb up on and hide behind and things like that for his characters. It's a really creative expression for him, and I really enjoy that he's getting into it, because for a while he was just kind of into the video games, and this is still like a fantasy game thing, but at least he's like hands-on, creative, exercising his brain muscles. That's good. I'm sure video games do that too. I'm not against video games. I was an avid Sims 3 player for a very long time. Sims 4 never really hooked me. I actually booted up Sims 3 and played it a couple of times because I had all the expansions, everything except Into the Future. And I wasn't really playing with all of them. Like, I was just playing like multi-generational, normal, boring families. And I got bored of the game, so I didn't play so much anymore. So now I have a vampire who has 2 cats. And she's in Moonlight Falls, the supernatural town. And like, she's been running around like raiding the hospital for plasma packs and like, you know, drinking from random Sims at night and like harvesting stuff to sell. Like, she doesn't even have a job. She just finds crap in the wild and sells it to the consignment shop and makes enough money to live. That's pretty cool. But anyway, like, you know, I'm at the point where I don't know what to do with her anymore. Like, I've explored and I've kind of played with interactions, and I'm like, okay, now what? Right? So I need a little creative inspiration. That's why I'm not playing right now. Okay. Anything else I want to talk about? Curvy socks. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, also, fun hack. This little metal tin was something Mom got with an Amazon. She was getting like a band for her Fitbit, and it came with this little tin. She's like, can you use this for anything? I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll try. It is perfect for the DPNs you're not using. I just love using it for, like, you know, the extra 2, right? If I'm working on 3, those are obviously caught up in the project, but these 2 need to not go anywhere. And if I'm working, I can just set it flat and like drop the DPN in there, so I'm not like looking for it. It's not in my hair. It's not between my teeth. Like, so that's pretty fun. I had 21 minutes, and I thought this was gonna be a short one, but apparently I'm still talking. Okay, so those are my 2 works in progress. No FOs. I did buy yarn. I am ashamed to admit that we were up in Seekonk, which is pretty far. It's a decent drive. Seekonk has some home goods and an at-home, so we're looking for like home decor stuff. And they also have a Hobby Lobby. And Hobby Lobby does include home decor stuff. So we went to Hobby Lobby. And they got my $12. I am not really thrilled at myself for shopping there. If you don't know what's up with Hobby Lobby, their politics is something I don't support. I mean, I like the idea that they're closed on Sundays and give everybody a day off. That's great, actually. I'm totally supportive of customers doing that. For worship or for not worship, like, you don't have to believe in God to enjoy a day off, right? So, I mean, that's cool, but I don't enjoy their donating money to conversion camps or trying to deny their employees birth control. I don't like it. I don't want to support them, really, but they had yarn, and they sell a lot of their own store brand yarn that you can't get anywhere else. I was touching it, it was soft, and I caved, okay? But I only caved $12, and probably some of that $12 is not their profit margin. So hopefully I didn't add to their ability to do these things too much. I do try to avoid going there, and I do try to avoid shopping from there. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you what I bought. This is the Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color French Lilac. Now, Yarn Bee's yarns are very directly like copycats or dupes of like actual yarns, like Red Heart, not actual, like store brand yarns, like Red Heart and Lion Brand and that kind of thing. They're very Karen, like they're very clearly like, oh, this, you know, popular brand has made a yarn, let's make a similar yarn for cheaper that's a little bit better. And that was true. As I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, that's Red Heart Huga, and oh, that's Lion Brand Hometown USA, and oh, that's, you know, like I could, like, oh, Karen Cakes, you know, like I could pick out like what they were trying to copy. But like when I'm feeling them, they did a better job than the original, and they're actually a better value. So I caved. I got 3 of these because I need 3. I'm gonna make a Reliance Wrap, which is my pattern that I designed. It is on Ravelry for $5. $5, I think? Yeah, $5. If you are interested in that, go buy it. It's a very simple wrap. I have one over there, but I just didn't think to grab it. But it's 2 directional, so you knit a panel that way, and then you pick up stitches alongside of the panel. So if you hate picking up stitches, this might not be the one for you. And then knit that way. And it turns out to be a big cuddly wrap. And it's pretty meditative design, especially once you get to the second part. You don't even need a cable needle. It's an easy, like, 1/1 twist cable design with some moss stitch. If you hate moss stitch, this is not the pattern for you. If you love moss stitch, buy it for sure. You'll love it. I like moss stitch because it's simple and it's easy, but it looks more complicated than it is. But some people find the 1/1 knitting, or 2/2, 1/1, I think it's 1/1. I don't even know I wrote the pattern. It was a while ago. But some people find the simple pattern soothing, some people find it excruciatingly tedious. So you know which kind of person you are. I did throw a cable section in both panels just to kind of spice it up. So it's not completely moss stitch. Like, I didn't just make you a big moss stitch rectangle. But go to Ravelry, see it. I'll link it below. Take a look at it, see if you like it. I have some pretty good pictures of it on Gooseberry Island, which is funny because the gooseberry shawl I do not have pictures of on Gooseberry Island because I knit it in the summer and people flood the island in the summer and there's no parking anywhere, so couldn't get pictures. Speaking of gooseberry shawl, I am writing that pattern, or I was before crap went down. It's on my laptop. It's in Publisher. I'm rearranging everything, trying to make it look professional and pattern-like before I put up the call for test knitters. I'm trying to get away without doing the professional tech editor thing, but if it comes back with like tons of issues, you know, I'm gonna need to have someone who knows what they're doing do it. Tech editors deserve to be paid. I don't have that. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get it together without that step, which is bad, but I'm admitting it here. You know, I really respect the work tech editors do. It's a hard job. I know, because I'm trying to turn my crazy notes into a PDF and make it look nice and make sure the punctuation is all correct and the spelling is all correct, and, you know, how have I used the K in knit? Do I always capitalize it? Do I sometimes capitalize it? Do I do it differently between this instruction and this instruction? Make sure everything's the same font. Do I want a picture? No, not on this page, but I do want pictures over here. Ah! I'm working on it. I was working on it and then I stopped, but I'll try to pick it up again. A large chunk of the pattern is done. It is quite a hefty pattern. It's got a lot of pages, simply because there are 7 unique stitch patterns of the gooseberry shawl. Also, if you don't know what I'm talking about, previous videos, like all of them. I've been working on it all year, so you'll see it, especially in the last one and the one before that. I have it finished, so that's good. But yes, so there's 7 different stitch patterns. The reverse stockinette doesn't really count because, like, you can just write that in your pattern knit purl. You know, you don't have to say, like, here's how to do a reverse stockinette, here's a chart, here's everything, right? But with the rest of them, you do. And I like to have the versatility of reading a written pattern versus a charted pattern. I prefer charts, personally. I am a 100% chart person, as you've seen by my curvy socks. Everything was charted. There was no written directions at all. Well, there are some. It's like the heel turn and stuff, but like all the color work is charted. I don't bother with the written word, but some people really like written words and are really intimidated by charts, and I don't want to turn them off of my pattern or make it not accessible to them just because they're not chart people. Although I will say there is no such thing as chart people. Like, they're not hard. Anyone can do it. They're not hard. Anyone can do it. You just gotta learn how to do it, you know? Just like you learned how to read the written stuff and what the abbreviations meant, you learn how to read a chart. Anyway, preferences, whatever. I don't care. The point is, I'm making both for each stitch pattern, and that takes a while. I have all the stuff figured out. I've just got to format it onto a page and make it look pretty and make sense. I'm working on it. Okay. Like, wait. Reliance Wrap. And this is gonna be for Bear's mom. That's why I picked, like, an adult color. Like, I don't know how she is with colors. This color really good on her because she's got the blonde going on. Fair skin, blonde hair. But, like, I want more interesting than, like, gray, right? Or brown. But you also, like, don't know, you know, She's gonna take it to work. If it's chilly at work, she's gonna wear it out. If it's chilly out, you know, is it around the house kind of thing? You don't know what someone's gonna do with something you made. So I figured a color that was a little more subdued was more versatile, you know. My mom likes her big rectangle wrap that I made her way back when I first started knitting. She actually keeps that in her office. Of course, she doesn't go there now because COVID, but she kept it in her office. And she'd just wrap it around her when it got cold. They put the AC on too high, she'd have a blanket. Not really a blanket, but a wrap, you know, something to... Anyway, if you're gonna do that, you don't want like neon pink, you know, in like a workplace scenario. My mom actually helped me pick his color out because I was asking, like, you're an adult who works, like, what do you do, right? And she's like, well, this color is interesting enough to be pretty, you know, but also it's not. Anyway, Karen, this is the, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm so sorry. I'm just glad to be talking. You know, I had to force myself to sit down and do this, but I'm glad to be here. This is the Karen Simply Soft knockoff. I think it's softer. I think it's shinier, and Karen Simply Soft, and I know this off the top of my head, is 250 grams, right? Yards? Grams? Crap, I forgot. Oh yes, yards. 250 yards per skein. And this one is 300 per skein. So this is actually more. And then, I don't remember how much it was because we used coupons and stuff. This is $5. $5 for 300 grams is pretty good, actually. It ends up working out better than a Karen Simply Soft kind of price. I haven't actually worked with it. I have worked with Karen Simply Soft. Karen Simply Soft has a tendency to kind of fuzz on me. Not badly, you know, but as I'm working with it, kind of fuzz. We'll see if this one does too. Just like Karen Simply Soft, this is 100% acrylic. Weight 4 medium. Of course, I don't include the how to wash in anything other than the symbols. Like, not everybody reads the symbols. I have an okay grasp on the symbols, but not everybody does. This one looks like it is... I don't know. Does the basin, like... It's got a basin with a squiggly line and 2 dots and 2 lines. I'll look it up. Although I'm pretty sure, like, all of the 100% acrylic yarns I've used are machine washable. Even if they say, like, cold with light colors. They're kind of being extra cautious, right? Because they give you the most cautious direction that actually applies while still making it easy care enough to sell it to you. It's a balance. So machine wash cold generally, I mean, for me, means just toss it in the washer with everything else. Maybe not like sneakers, but like pretty much anything else. I did that with superwash wool too. Like I have superwash wool socks. They go in with everything else. I'm not like separating them and putting them in their own special load or a delicates bag or don't wash them with my jeans. Like, I don't have time for that. I do laundry for 4 people. I don't have time for that. 4 people and a dog and people who use a kitchen towels and bath towels and clothes. Bedding. Like, oh my god. So, I don't have time for that. I either have knits that I wash in the washing machine or knits that I never wash. Or very rarely wash, right? Let's see. Okay. I also have some stuff around that I got for my birthday. Most of the stuff I got for my birthday wasn't knitting related. Okay, oh, I splashed water in my glasses. Can you see that? No, you can't. Oh yeah, you can right there. Yeah. My glasses have a burst of caffeine now. I look so weird without my glasses. Like, I feel like when I don't wear them for a while, I look weird with them on, and then as soon as I take them off, I look weird with them off. I've mostly had them on in my videos, so, at least lately, so, there we go. That's better. Okay. Where was I? Oh, my birthday. Here's how I do my birthday. I am notoriously, apparently hard to buy for. I don't think I am. No one who's hard to buy for thinks they're hard to buy for, but I am. And my family and Bear have a hard time, I would say friends, but basically just Bear, have a hard time figuring out what to get me. And, what I do is I still want to be surprised, right? It's like, you don't want to just tell them, oh, get me this, and then pretend to be surprised when you open it. That's not fun for the gift recipient. the way I've kind of compromised this is I tell everybody, like, I've made a giant list. And I make a giant list, like 4-page list of stuff. And I say, of course I'm not getting everything on the list. That's a crazy long list. I'm not expecting everything on the list. But I wanted to give you a lot of different options, and I try to do like a lot of different price points, a lot of different types of things, you know, so that people have a lot to choose from. That way they can get me a gift that they think I'll really like. I mean, I like all of it because it's on my list, but that they support, right? So, you know, I think on my list, I think I had a couple of Notions cases, and I like listed the ingredients of a Notions case. Like, you can put all this stuff in a little bag, and it's called a Notions case. I had all the stuff I got, actually. I had pretty basic, like, but I also had, like, Drive Me to Webs. I didn't get that one, because that's a 2.5-hour drive, which is not as far as some people drive to Webs, but 2.5 hours each way, so that's fine. And then I had on my list, like, an occasion to get dressed up fancy, because I like getting dressed up fancy, so if you want to make an occasion happen for me to get dressed up fancy, that's really cool. Stuff like that. Play Sims with me, like, sit down with me, and, like, we can, like, make a sim and have fun. Or, you know, different types of knitting supplies. I went on Knitpicks and, like, browsed some stuff that I thought looked cool. Anyway, I made a big list. And then people pick things on the list. Now, on the list, I mostly got things to keep my bedroom comfortable, which I appreciate because I've been here a lot. I've always been the kind of kid, not always, but lately I've been the kind of kid who doesn't spend a lot of time in her room, right? Like, I just sleep here, basically, and get dressed here and do my makeup here, but I would go down to the common room to knit, hang out, watch TV, chat with the family, make food in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Until all the arguments started happening and all the explosions started happening, and now I'm up here to both prevent future problems, because somehow I'm the problem all the time, I'm the scapegoat, and then also just get away from it. Like, I don't want to be around it. It's not good for me. It's like when I like get yelled at like that, not yelled at, of course, because I'm not yelling, but like when I get torn down like that, my brain doesn't focus very well afterwards for, like, school. You know, I can't just, like, okay, I'm back. Like everybody expects me to, so it's hard. Anyway, I've been in my room. So I've been focusing on things to make my room more comfortable, and my list reflected that. First thing I got were 2 new pillows. Now, I have a queen-size bed. I have a system, and I'm telling you this right now. The perfect system is 1 pillow. Like, people do these weird pillow architecture things. No. 1 pillow. Under your head. I lay on my side, so it's gotta be a fluffy pillow. And my pillows that I had were going flat. So I got 2 pillows, 1 for each side of the bed. And of course, already I've got one of them pink because I showered and then took a nap. And my red hair bled. I've had red hair for a long time. I've got it done permanent dye a lot because it's hair, right? I grabbed a random box of dye off the shelf at CVS one time, to dye my hair at the most recent time, and it was semi-permanent. Don't make that mistake. It bleeds on everything. Like, every time I take a shower, my whole tub is pink, and I have to scrub it with bleach or baking soda or something, and, like, on my hands and knees for an hour scrub the tub. Every time I shower. Like, I'd rather have permanently red hair. We went to Sally Beauty, like, originally. We're like, why is it bleeding so much? What did you do wrong? And they just kind of laughed at us. They're like, that's semi-permanent dye. It's supposed to come out. That's how it comes out, right? It's not supposed to stay in your hair forever. It's supposed to wash out. Oh. So they actually gave us we bought from them the materials to do it again, properly, permanently. But I want to wait until most of this comes out first, because it's still pretty red. It's looking like it's time to get it done again because my roots are showing, but it's still fairly red, so I'm trying to just let the red come out. I don't want to aggressively shampoo because it's going to be damaging for my hair, and also I don't want to bleach for the same reason. I'm just going to let it happen. Anywho, chuck those over here. Okay, the other thing I got, and like when I opened it up, my brother and my boyfriend started cracking up. They're like, oh my god. But it's comfy. is, oh crap, there's stuff on it. Oop, I got a body pillow. There's no anime girl on it, it's white on both sides. And I'm not weird with it, I just, you know, it's snuggly. I don't know, like, it's nice. I sleep in like a nest, you know, I put pillows and stuffed animals all around me, and this is just super comfortable for like leaning back up against. Like a nest. I'm crazy. It's cool. I'm trying to keep it away from my hair because the pillowcase is very white. Although most of the stuff I've dyed with my hair on accident has washed out because it's semi-permanent, right? It's not permanent dye, so hopefully that pillowcase will be clean. Well, it really is just a job lot flannel pillowcase because I wanted flannel sheets. I was in flannel sheet mood. Anyway. Well, okay. Now I actually did get knitting related stuff for my birthday. I got this. These are my favorite kinds of stitch markers. They're the coilless safety pins. Mom probably got them on Amazon, probably from China, but I don't really care where they're from. They look great. Different colors, mark things. I also, got a package of safety eyes. I've done amigurumi for quite a while, and I've never owned safety eyes. And that's kind of gotten in my way a lot of times. I've had to figure out how to crochet eyes. I've had to, I think once I used button eyes, but that was for a figurine for an adult. It was not for a child. If it was for a child, I would not put buttons on. I've embroidered eyes on stuff. These are just going to be kind of handy. There's a whole variety pack. It was weird, like, when I see safety eyes in the store, it's only been at Joann's. And they're just like a little, like the button pack, you know, they have a little cardboard at the top and a little plastic thing. There's like 2 pairs of safety eyes. And you're like, there you go. Please pay $5. So seeing all of these here in one place, looks like there's noses too. Oh my gosh. So that'll be fun. Although the pack did have a bunch of hot glue sticks. Not sure what those are for. I mean, I know how they work. You put them in a hot glue gun, but like, why? Hey, not complaining. Okay. Also, for my birthday, I got this t-shirt, which is funny because I've been not knitting very much lately, but it says, "The day without knitting is like, just kidding. I have no idea." It's a cool color on me though. Like, I kind of like it. Anyway, t-shirt. I got this. It doesn't look great, but it's actually, I don't know what these elastic things are for, honestly, but it goes around your neck, and then you can like squiggle it, you know, these things are really bendy, and then you can click them on. They have 3 brightness settings, and you can maneuver them, and they're just a little bit less dorky than like a headlamp, you know, if you're working with dark yarn in the dark. This looks a little bit better. I could use it for reading or for like whatever, you know, but the intention for me was, of course, to use it for knitting, so that's pretty cool. Little Necklight. It comes with a cord to charge it, which is cool, and I like that the lights operate separately, so you could put like one of them on really bright and one of them not so bright, and it's really adjustable how much light you use, so that's cool. And you can point it different directions. I haven't gotten the hang of like pointing it properly yet. Like I end up like moving my head a little bit and then my thing is jostled, but that seems like a practice thing. And then last thing I got for my birthday was this lap desk. I had another lap desk, that cheap polka dot one from IKEA. The problem with that one is it's kind of small and kind of flimsy. And by small I mean like surface area. Like this one's big enough that I can put my laptop and a mouse on it and like use a mouse, which is nice. Couldn't do that on the other one because it's smaller. And it's got a cup holder. Pretty freaking cool. It also has legs on the back that kind of come out. Like, the only problem with this is that they're too tall for me. Like if I'm in bed, even sitting up fully, and I pop the desk down, that it's too high and I end up having to type like this. But it's cool. I usually just rest it on my lap like a table. Like I don't really need the legs. Although the legs being so tall, it's kind of weird because I'm 5'7". I'm not short. So if it's too tall for me, it's too tall for a lot of people. Anyway. Okay. Talked about this, talked about that. birthday things. Okay, just wanted to talk to you about like a couple more of the things that make me happy, because like these things make me very happy, and I would like to share my happiness, or at least share the things that make me happy with other people so that maybe they can be happy, or at least, you know, check them out, see if they like them. That was inspired by like my oh, well, okay. I watch a beauty YouTuber, actually the only one I watch, because a lot of the beauty community on YouTube is very competitive, very snarky, very, I don't know, it's just not the kind of thing that brings me joy. Makeup brings me joy. I know you've seen, like, on this channel, I've had a lot of different makeup looks, from nothing to everything. I love experimenting and playing around. I don't have a giant collection, but, you know, I like trying to figure out different ways to use what I have and, you know, see different looks and stuff. Anyway, I watch a beauty YouTuber called Emily Noel. She is the best. Like, honestly, like, you put it on, she doesn't seem like she's like putting on airs, right? And I kind of try to follow that with my channel, as far as like, I want it to be like when you sit and like look at me and talk to me, like I'm just a person talking to you, you know? I'm not like trying to sell you anything, I'm not trying to present anything, I'm not trying to come across as some expert with grand knowledge, right? I'm just like telling you what I'm doing and what I like and what I don't like, and hanging out and talking about also other things, you know, like not just knitting. She does that, but with makeup, right? And she's really good at makeup, so you can learn a lot from her. And she does do a lot of reviews, which I like, but she does reviews of like everything, from like the really expensive stuff to the really cheap stuff. You know, you see a lot of the beauty community like, oh, I won't use anything from the drugstore, and it's like, well, I don't have a high-end budget, you know? She's really good at like kind of comparing like, okay, this high-end thing is actually a lot better. So that's worth springing for, as opposed to, you know, for this kind of product, you could get away with this from the drugstore for $2 and it works great. You know, it's accessible and it's friendly and there's no judgment. I mean, sometimes I put on her videos and just do my own makeup. I don't even watch her do her makeup, you know, and just like listening to her chat about makeup as I'm doing my makeup, and it's like I have someone doing it with me, you know. It's really cool. If you haven't checked out our channel and you're at all into makeup or beauty, check that out. And that's kind of where I got inspired to do this, because she does a monthly video of like her favorite things. Like, usually they're makeup things, but she also includes, you know, things. Anyway, that's my favorite things. Another of my favorite things is this lotion from Target. It's actually really, probably the cheapest one they had. Hand and body lotion from Smartly. Smells like a rain shower. They also had one that smells like summertime, and one that smells like, well, nothing. And it actually said, well, nothing. I got this home because I wanted a scented lotion. Like, I love scents in my bath and beauty products. I know some people are sensitive to them. I'm not. So I use them a lot to make me feel better, you know. Even in the shower today, like, I got my eucalyptus body wash all going, and it was very calming, you know. I'm not sure I believe in aromatherapy, but I believe in nice smells make me feel happy. So that's what I do. Anyway, like, most of the hand and body lotions talked about their ingredients on the label, but not what they smelled like. And I wanted one that smelled good. So I get it home, and I pump it into my hand. Like a professional YouTuber here, I've got this all done. And you rub it in. And it's like a moisturizing lotion. It's not too thick, not too thin, kind of just lotion, nothing fancy about it. And you smell it, and you're like, that's a man smell. Like, I had that moment of like, I bought a dude lotion. But then my brain is like, I mean, I like it. Like, I'm like, I smell like a guy I would want to date, you know, like, this is nice. I'm like, so then why does a rain shower have to be a dude smell? Like, I had this whole moment of thinking about, like, why are some smells feminine and some smells masculine? Especially smells like rain. Like, rain isn't, it's precipitation, it is water, it is not male or female, it's just a thing. Same thing with like citrus, same thing with like flowers, you know. Like, why do we have like male and female smells? Like, and I kind of just came to the conclusion that I think it smells nice, and so I'm gonna use it, and it makes me really happy. Like, that moment of like, I can do whatever I want, I'm empowered. I'm a 21st century woman who can smell like a rain shower if she wants to. It was great. It was great. And then, like, I've used it around Bear and he thinks I smell great. Like, he's not like, ooh, you smell like a dude. Like, who cares? Like, it's a nice smell. Anyway, that smell and that texture makes me happy. That's the lotion I lotion up my whole body with after I shower. Really good. I also have been using a cinnamon body wash. I'm not going to tell you the brand because it's way old. Found it at Christmas Tree Shop, way discounted. It's from last winter. It's cinnamon though. It's really good. So I alternate between cinnamon and eucalyptus depending on my mood. I'm a little crazy. Okay. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk to you about my favorite YouTube video ever. It came out in 2017, which was the year I was supposed to graduate high school. It's hard to tell, like, the year I graduated high school if you didn't actually graduate, but, like, that was the year. It's hard to figure that out. Anyway, History of the Entire World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz? Wirtz? Oh my god, I forget the name. I think it's Wirtz. Anyway, History of the Entire World, I guess. Look that up. The thumbnail is, like, a black thing with, like, a vaguely drawn blue planet in it. So good! Like, it's informational, but it's also funny. Like, it's combining history and science and comedy and, you know, stuff like that into one video. It's like 20 minutes long, I think. And it's the history of the entire world. It starts with the Big Bang, right? And ends with modern day. And it's so, like, it does a great job of going through everything from how humans evolved to, you know, world wars and how they happened, and, like, you know, how the empire, like, everything happened. It's the history of the entire world, and it's funny. It's, like, quick. So if you're someone who appreciates, like, quick humor, just kind of, like, spitball at you fun stuff, this is it. And it also is informational. And what's kind of cool is, like, I've actually, like, kind of been interested in some other topics and like gone into look further on the internet, sent down some interesting rabbit holes. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that video, I watched it like when I was really down and stuck in here, and, you know, Bear was working, so I didn't have him to talk to, and my mom was working and also trying to, you know, not cause problems herself, and you know, Wes was on his computer. Then I was up here and I was just watching that video and laughing. Made me so happy. Another thing that makes me happy. I'm just gonna talk about things that make me happy. You're free to tune out. But talking about things that make me happy. YouTube video. I've watched a lot of YouTube. Because I have my computer up here. I'm Brandon Ferris is a channel, and he's like a comedic YouTuber too. He does a lot, like, I'm not super into all of his videos. Like, he does some where he, like, opens mail his fans send him, and he's really sweet about being generous about it, which is good. Or being thankful about it, which is good. But also, like, I don't really care what random stuff people send him, you know? But what I do love are his Google Translate videos. He has a whole playlist of them. And what he does is he takes a recipe from the internet and he runs it through Google Translate a bunch of times, like into one language, another language, another language, eventually gets back to English, and then he does the things it says. And it's so funny. Like, I love it. Those crack me up on bad days too. Also, I encourage you to think about your favorite, like, piece of media as a child. My favorite piece of media as a child was the Nickelodeon TV show Victorious. That's my era, right? That was my thing. Okay, that's kind of where the red hair came from. Okay, not gonna lie. Even though I didn't really identify with Kat as much as I identified with Jade, but hey, like, that was my zone. And I found that on Netflix, and I've been binge watching it. I remember it all so well. It's like nostalgia all over. Like, I remember the jokes, but, you know, now that I'm a little bit older, I'm kind of catching the grown-up jokes. It's really funny. So, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that show. It's probably not that great of a show, but the reason it's so great is because it was such an important part of me, or something I really loved. Something I'm also getting back into on the same vein is the original 3 Taylor Swift albums. I don't like her new stuff at all. But, like, her regular album and Fearless and Speak Now were like the best. Fearless was actually the first real grown-up song album I bought. Like besides like the Kids Bop CDs and like kid music, like this was the first like actual music I ever bought. And she's on Google Play, which is now YouTube Music, and I'm having a hard time making the switch, but that's really, it's really making me happy. If you can hear my parents talking, I'm sorry, but they are chatting about my mom's work or something. What time is it? Oh, 5, yeah, she's getting out of work. I mean, she's in her bedroom, in her office, so she didn't get out of work now, but yeah, that makes me happy. So just a little reminder, like, think about, like, was it a movie? Was it a song? Was it a show? Was it a YouTube video if you're a little bit younger? What was it that made you, that you loved as a kid, or at different stages in your life? And go find it. Like, maybe you'll, like, do what I'm doing, the whole nostalgia trip, and wow, this is so good, and whatever, or maybe you'll just laugh at yourself and think you had horrible taste, but either way, it's a fun experience. Oh, also, if you can steal a big sweater from your boyfriend, that'll make you happy too. It's, he's significantly bigger than I am, which is nice, because a sweatshirt is so big that the sleeves are longer than my arms, and I can flap them around like a monster and hit things with them. I'm not weird. Of course, I did accidentally dye this part. You can't trust me with anything. But yes, this has been really comforting. It's just a big sweatshirt. But it's not even that. It's that, like, someone loves me and let me borrow it. Okay, I think I'm done talking? Am I done talking? I think I'm done talking. Oh, I also, one thing that made me happy, asynchronous classes. My brother is doing full-time college from home because COVID. He has synchronous classes, which basically means everybody's like together meeting on Zoom or Teams or Google Chat or whatever. You're all like in a video chat together. My classes are both, because I'm part-time, they're both asynchronous, which means that I have like assignments assigned on certain times and they're due on certain times. Everything in the middle is up to me. That's nice when I've had this kind of stuff going on. I do have a one-on-one Zoom meeting with my English teacher tomorrow that I have scheduled. I'm nervous, but like, I don't know. I haven't had an English teacher grade anything I've written since my last English teacher took the first line of my college essay, read it out loud in front of everyone, told me I was stupid, and ripped it up and threw it away. True story. So I'm really nervous about talking to an English teacher, but at least there's no public humiliation because it's just me and her. So she can tear me apart, but at least the public won't happen. I don't know how you can tear apart a college essay based on the first line. Like, he didn't read the rest. He didn't have the rest. He didn't pass in the rest. He told us to write the first line and send it to him. So, like, why would you just insult me based on one line? Oh my god. Anyway, I'm scared, but I'll be okay. Oh, and chapstick. Chapstick's nice. I love chapstick. That makes me happy. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me talk. I know lots of it was knitting related, but not all of it was. It's nice to be here. It's nice to kind of get that out. I'm doing okay. You know, I'm talking about a lot of crap going on, but I'm physically 100% safe and sound. So, don't worry about me. I'm getting my schoolwork done, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm alright. Except for, you know, the fact that school is hard. School's never been hard for me. I was a straight A student all the time. I passed everything really well, and now I'm in college, and it's like bio, and I'm like, oh, I took bio twice in high school. I can do this, and it's like biochem. Like, fuck. Shouldn't have said that. It's bad, but I really should stop talking. Right. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will try my best to put links to everything in the description box below. I did talk about a lot of random stuff though, so I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope talking to me made you happy, or at least helped you in some way. And I will see you in a future video.